Michael Hayes had hidden cameras installed all over the mansion. He wanted to catch the new employee stealing, but what he saw on the recordings left him speechless, because Emily wasn't stealing. She was tucking 3 chocolate cookies into the bottom of her bag for her 6-year-old son who'd eaten nothing but rice for dinner. And in that moment, Michael realized something devastating. He was spying on the wrong woman. Or maybe he was becoming the wrong man. This is the true story of how a single mom, an empty mansion, and a hidden secret changed 2 lives forever. Emily Carter parks the old car at the mansion's entrance at 5:30 in the morning. The sky is still dark, painted in purple and gray, and the coastal fog slowly drifts down the hills of Pacific Grove, California. She takes a deep breath before turning off the engine. The silence is almost eerie. In the back seat, a small backpack with dinosaurs on it is tossed aside. Emily looks at it in the rearview mirror and feels her chest tighten. Noah must be waking up now. At Mrs. Jensen's house, the neighbor who watches him for free because she knows the whole story. Just 1 more month, Emily thinks, pressing her fingers against the steering wheel. Just 1 more month, and I can pay the rent. She grabs the lunch bag from the seat beside her. Inside, Noah's meal, shredded chicken with rice. She made it before going to bed, at 11 at night, after a double shift at Sullivan's Diner. 3 hours of sleep, strong coffee, repeat. Michael Hayes's mansion is imposing. 3 floors, massive glass windows, a perfect English garden. Everything looks like it came straight out of an architecture magazine. Emily has never stepped into a place like this. She looks at her own hands, calloused, cracked from dish soap, and feels small. The key is under the pot, just as promised. She unlocks the front door and steps inside. The interior is too quiet. Shiny marble floors, minimalist furniture, no sign of life, no photos on the walls, no smell of food. It feels like a museum or a mausoleum. Emily sets her bag down and ties her hair into a ponytail. She takes off her worn coat and pulls on the rubber gloves she brought from home. She already knows she can't mess up. This temporary job pays $300 per weekend, almost a month's rent. While wiping down the kitchen, she starts talking to herself. It's an old habit ever since Noah was a baby and she spent hours awake, rocking him in her arms. It's okay, Emily. You got this. Just this, then the diner, then you pick him up. She stops, looking at the giant stainless steel fridge. Jesus, this thing is bigger than my whole bedroom. She opens the fridge out of curiosity. It's full. Fresh fruit, imported cheeses, organic juices, all untouched. Emily frowns. Who lives alone in a place like this and lets all this go bad? She grabs an apple, hesitates, then puts it back. It's not hers. It never will be. But when she closes the door, she sees a box of chocolate cookies on the top shelf. Expensive cookies, the kind Noah has never eaten. Emily looks around. No one, just silence. She opens the box, takes 3 cookies, and tucks them deep into her lunch bag under the container. It's not stealing. It's survival. He's sitting in the leather chair with the laptop on his lap. The screen is divided into 6 squares. Every camera in the house, installed discreetly after the break-in 3 months ago. He watches Emily move around the kitchen, sees her take the cookies, sees her stash them in her bag. Michael clenches his jaw. Knew it. Everyone ends up stealing. But then he sees something that makes him freeze. Emily takes her phone out of her pocket, looks at the screen. It's a picture of Noah, smiling with both front teeth missing, and whispers, "We'll eat together later, sweetheart. I promise." She tucks the phone away, wipes her tears quickly with the back of her hand, and goes back to scrubbing the counter. Michael doesn't move. That wasn't stealing. It was a mother trying to give her child something she never had. Michael sinks into the chair, his breathing heavy. He clicks the video file and saves it, not to use against her, but because, for the first time in months, he felt something other than emptiness. And that scares him. Michael Hayes is 41 but looks 50. The wrinkles around his eyes didn't come from smiles. They came from sleepless nights, unanswered questions, a grief that never ended. He founded a software company at 28, sold it for $8 million at 35, and retired early thinking he'd finally have time to travel with his wife, Claire. Time to build the family they'd always planned. But Claire died in a car accident a 1.5 years ago, and Michael no longer knows how to live. He runs his fingers through his graying hair and looks at the laptop screen. Emily is now cleaning the living room, vacuuming with precise, quick movements. She works urgently, not because she's careless, but because she needs to finish fast. She needs to get back to her son. Michael knows that urgency. Claire had it too when she cared for her sick mother in her final months. That look of someone carrying the whole world alone. He installed the cameras after thieves broke in. They stole watches, electronics, jewelry of Claire's he didn't even know existed. The police did nothing. Michael decided he would never be caught off guard again. But now, the cameras have become something else. He doesn't use them for security anymore. He uses them to observe, to remind himself that life is still happening around him, even if he's not part of it. Michael clicks on last week's recording. Emily is in the kitchen slicing vegetables for his lunch. He had asked her to prepare frozen meals. She cuts carefully, separates the portions, packs everything into containers with handwritten labels. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. She writes the way a mother writes for her child, with care. Michael feels something strange in his chest. Shame? Gratitude? Guilt? He doesn't know. He clicks another recording. Emily is sitting on the bathroom floor cleaning the baseboard. Her phone rings. She answers quickly. Hey, sweetheart. No, Mommy's working, but I'll be home soon, okay? Her voice shakes. You have a fever? How high? 101? Okay. Don't cry, Noah. Auntie Jensen will give you medicine, all right? I love you. I love you so much. She hangs up, rests her head against the wall, and cries. She cries quietly like someone who learned not to make noise with their pain. Michael closes the laptop. He stands up and walks to the office window. Down below, Emily is leaving. She carries her bag, locks the door, places the key under the pot, gets into the car, sits there for a few seconds, head down. Then she starts the engine and drives away. Michael grabs his phone, opens the entrance camera. He can see her license plate, a 2006 Honda Civic with a dented bumper and a broken taillight. He types the plate into a public search site. Emily Carter, 27 years old, Pacific Grove, CA. Michael hesitates. This is wrong. Invasive. He knows that, but he can't stop. Michael decides to install 2 more cameras. One at the kitchen entrance, another in the hallway. Not for security, but because he needs to understand. Who is this woman who carries the world on her back and still labels frozen meals with care? It's Friday night. Emily is at the mansion for the 3rd week in a row. She arrives at 6 in the evening after her shift at Sullivan's Diner. Her uniform still smells like fryer grease and old coffee. Michael isn't home. He's never home when she works. He leaves her tasks on a list on the kitchen counter. Always polite, always distant. Clean the 2nd-floor bathrooms. Change the sheets in the master bedroom. Prepare meals for the week. Thank you, MH. Emily sighs. She's exhausted. Noah had a fever again last night. She stayed up placing cold compresses on his forehead, whispering prayers that it wasn't anything serious. She carries the bucket and cleaning supplies up the stairs. The master bedroom is huge, king-size bed with pristine white sheets. A giant window overlooking the ocean. Everything so beautiful, so empty. Emily starts changing the sheets. She moves on autopilot, but her mind is far away. It's in the cramped apartment where Noah sleeps on a pull-out couch because the bedroom is too small. It's on the pile of bills stacked on top of the fridge. It's on the school letter asking for money for a field trip Noah will never get to attend. Her phone rings. Emily drops the sheet and answers quickly. Hello? Mrs. Jensen? Is Noah okay? Her heart races. What? Fever, how high? 102. Jesus. She presses her hand to her forehead. I'm working. I can't. What do you mean the school called? Okay, I'm going to get him. I'm going right now. She hangs up. Her hands shake. Emily looks around. The room is half done. Bed without sheets. Cleaning supplies everywhere. She knows she needs to finish. She knows Michael could fire her if she leaves without notice. But it's Noah. It's always Noah. She throws everything back in the bucket, grabs her bag, and runs down the stairs. She trips on the last step, catches herself on the rail, mutters a curse under her breath. Tears stream down her face. I'm sorry, I'll come back. I promise I'll come back, she says to the air, as if Michael could hear her. She locks the door in a rush and runs to the car. He sees Emily answer the phone, sees the panic on her face, sees her drop everything and run. And for the first time in months, Michael feels something that isn't anger or suspicion. He feels empathy. Claire used to do that, drop everything when her mother called. Michael used to complain, said she was exaggerating, that his mother-in-law was fine. But Claire knew. Mothers always know. And 3 weeks later, Michael's mother-in-law died. Claire never forgave him for doubting her, and Michael never forgave himself for not understanding. Michael is still in the office. It's 10 at night. He didn't expect her to come back, but she does. Emily walks in through the front door, eyes red, hair a mess. She goes straight up to the master bedroom and finishes changing the sheets. Her hands are shaking. She's at her limit. When she's done, she sits on the floor, leaning against the wall and covers her face with her hands. "I can't do this anymore," she whispers. "I can't." Michael freezes. That is not some performative outburst. It's not a cry for attention. It's the sound of someone breaking, and he knows that sound. Because he's broken too. Michael closes the laptop. He gets up, grabs his car keys. For the first time in a year and a half, he's going to leave the house. Because he needs to do something. He doesn't know what, but he needs to. And that woman, that mother he never knew, just changed something inside him. It's Saturday morning. Emily gets to the mansion at 7. Like always, she didn't sleep well. Noah spent the night coughing, but his fever went down. She left him with Mrs. Jensen again, with a container of chicken soup and a note apologizing. She parks the car and sees something odd. Michael's black Mercedes is in the driveway. Emily freezes. He's here? In the 3 weekends she worked, Michael was never there. He always left the task list and disappeared. She even started to think he didn't exist, that he was some kind of ghost businessman who lived in hotels. But now he's here. Emily takes a deep breath, grabs her bag, locks the car, walks to the front door. She opens it with the key, steps inside, and freezes. Michael is in the kitchen. He's facing the counter making coffee. He's wearing a gray dress shirt, no tie, sleeves rolled up to his elbows. His hair is messy, like he just woke up. He's tall, broad-shouldered, with the posture of someone who used to command boardrooms. Emily stands in the doorway, not sure if she should speak or wait. Michael turns around. Their eyes meet. Michael expected to see an employee, someone professional, distant, efficient, but what he sees is a 27-year-old woman who looks 40. Deep, dark circles, hair tied back with a frayed hair tie, dry, overworked hands, shoulders bent under the weight of carrying the world alone, and something inside him cracks. "Morning," Michael says, his voice rough. "You're Emily, right?" "Yes, sir. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were here." She looks down. "I can come back later if you'd rather." No, you can stay. He hesitates. "I just came to grab a few things. I won't get in your way." Awkward silence. Emily sets her bag down and pulls the rubber gloves from her backpack. Michael sees her hands. They're cracked, red, with little cuts that haven't healed. He looks at his own hands, soft, well cared for, his Swiss watch shining on his wrist. "Coffee?" Michael blurts out. Emily blinks, confused. "I'm sorry? Do you want some coffee? I just made it. It's good. Imported." Emily is speechless. Bosses don't offer coffee. Bosses barely look at your face. I'd love some, thank you." Michael pours 2 cups. He hands one to her. Their hands brush for a second when she takes the cup. Michael feels the roughness of her skin. Emily feels the warmth of his hand. They drink in silence. "About yesterday," Michael starts. "You left early." Emily's heart races. "He's going to fire me. I knew it." "I know, sir. I'm sorry. My son was sick and I didn't have a choice. But I came back. I finished everything. I swear it won't happen again." "Emily." Michael raises a hand, cutting her off. "I'm not mad." She stops, looks at him, suspicious. "You're not?" "No." He takes a breath. I saw that you came back and finished the job, even exhausted. He searches for the words. "That's admirable." Emily doesn't know what to say. No one has ever called her admirable. No one has ever noticed. "Is your son okay?" Michael asks. "Yeah, the fever went down. He's tough." She smiles for the first time. "He's all I've got." Michael nods. He understands. "How old is he?" 6. Emily takes out her phone, shows him a picture. Noah smiling in a Spider-Man t-shirt. This is Noah. Michael looks at the picture. His chest tightens. Claire wanted kids so badly. They tried for 2 years. It never happened. He's adorable, Michael says genuinely. Thank you. Emily puts the phone away. Well, I'll get started. Do you need anything specific today? No, just stick to the usual list. And Emily? Yes? If there's ever an emergency, you can go, I get it. Emily stands there processing. Then she nods, swallowing tears. Thank you, sir. Michael leaves the kitchen. He goes up to the office, but he can't work. He just stares out the window, listening to the sound of the vacuum downstairs. For the first time in a year and a half, the house doesn't feel so empty. When Emily finishes and leaves, Michael goes down to the kitchen. On the counter, he finds something she forgot, a folded piece of paper. He opens it. It's a child's drawing, done in crayon. The mansion with flowers in front and a smiling sun in the sky. In the bottom corner, written in shaky letters, for the owner of the house. Thank you for giving my mom a job. Noah. Michael sits down, holds the drawing. And for the first time in months, he cries. Michael can't stop thinking about the drawing. He sticks it on the fridge with a magnet, the first personal object he's touched since Claire died. Every day he looks at that smiling sun and feels something shift inside him. Guilt? Hope? He doesn't know anymore. But what he does know is that he can't stop watching the recordings. It's Tuesday night. Michael is in the office, laptop open. Emily's not working today, she only comes on weekends. But he has last week's recordings, and he watches, again and again. He sees Emily cleaning the dining room, humming a children's song under her breath. He sees her pause to rub her lower back like it hurts. He sees her pick up her phone and text someone. Mrs. Jensen, did Noah eat okay? Is his stomach still hurting? Michael moves the cursor over the screen. He can zoom in, see her face closer, the freckles on her nose, the faint lines around her eyes, her chapped lips. He knows this is wrong, but he can't stop. She lives in a one-bedroom apartment in Seaside, the next town over. The building is old with peeling walls and a moldy smell in the hallways. Rent is $800 a month, more than half of what she makes at Sullivan's Diner. Noah sleeps on the pull-out couch in the living room. Emily sleeps in the bedroom, but spends most nights awake, checking if he's breathing okay, if the cough came back, if the fever spiked. It's Tuesday night. Emily is sitting at the table in the tiny kitchen, a pile of bills in front of her. Electricity, water, internet, which she keeps only because Noah needs it for school. His asthma meds. A pediatric visit she split into 3 payments. She punches numbers into the calculator on her phone. Even with the extra money from the mansion, it doesn't add up. She looks at the calendar on the wall. In 2 weeks, rent is due again. Are we gonna make it, Mom? Noah asks from the couch, hugging a worn-out teddy bear. Emily turns, forcing a smile. We always do, don't we, buddy? Noah nods, but his eyes say he knows. Kids always know. Emily gets up, sits beside him, kisses his forehead. Go to sleep, okay? You've got a math test tomorrow. Mom? Yeah? Do you think one day we'll live in a big house? Like the one you work in? Emily feels her heart squeeze. I think so. One day. Noah smiles, closes his eyes. Emily stays there, watching him. She thinks about Michael's mansion, the empty rooms, the heavy silence, that man who has everything and seems to have nothing. She shakes her head. Stop dreaming, Emily. You don't belong in that world. It's Sullivan's Diner. The manager says they'll have to cut her Wednesday shift. Slow business, economy, excuses. Emily hangs up, stands in the middle of the kitchen, phone in hand. She does the math in her head. Without Wednesdays, she loses almost $200 a month. It won't add up. It'll never add up. She looks at her phone, thinks about calling Michael, asking if he needs more days of work, but she doesn't have his number. She doesn't even know if he'd say yes. So she does the only thing she knows how to do. She keeps going. That night, Michael watches the recording of Emily crying alone in the mansion's kitchen. It was last Friday. She was doing the dishes, her back to the camera. Suddenly she stopped, braced her hands on the sink, and cried. It wasn't dramatic. It was quiet, her shoulders shaking, her breath coming in uneven bursts. Michael rewatches the scene 3 times, and then he decides. Michael grabs a sheet of paper, writes something, and slips it into a white envelope. He goes down to the kitchen, leaves the envelope on the counter, tucked under a flower vase. Inside the envelope, $1,000 in cash, and a note. You deserve more than I can pay you. This is an advance for next month. No need to pay it back. MH. Michael goes back up to the office, turns on the kitchen camera, and waits. It's Saturday morning. Emily arrives at the mansion with Noah. She didn't want to bring him, but Mrs. Jensen had a family emergency and couldn't watch him today. Emily thought about canceling the job, but she can't. She can't lose this money. So she brought Noah, with the promise that he'd stay quiet, sitting in the kitchen, drawing. "You promise you're not going to mess anything up?" Emily asks, kneeling in front of him in the parking lot. Noah nods, serious. "I promise, Mom. And if you need anything, you call me softly, okay?" "Okay." Emily takes a deep breath. She knows this could go wrong, but she has no choice. They walk in together. Noah looks around, jaw dropped. "Mom, this house is huge. It's like a castle." "Shh." Emily puts a finger to her lips. "Keep your voice down, Noah. The owner might be here." "Is he like a king?" Emily actually laughs despite everything. "No, honey, he's just—" She hesitates. "He's just a person, like us." But Noah doesn't look convinced. Emily takes Noah to the kitchen, settles him at the table with crayons and a sketchbook. She kisses his forehead. "Stay here, okay? Mommy's gonna work fast." She goes upstairs to the second floor, starts cleaning the bathrooms, changing the sheets, vacuuming the bedrooms. Meanwhile, in the office, Michael is watching everything. He sees Emily working, sees Noah sitting in the kitchen, drawing with his tongue sticking out in concentration. He smiles. That kid is exactly how Claire would have described a dream child. Curious, polite, full of life. Michael looks at the envelope in the kitchen. It's still there. Emily hasn't seen it. He waits. She's sweaty, exhausted, but she's finished. She walks into the kitchen and sees Noah asleep in the chair, head resting on his folded arms on the table. She smiles, pulls out her phone, snaps a picture. Then she sees the envelope. She frowns, picks it up, opens it, and nearly passes out. $1,000 in $100 bills. Emily stands there, holding the money, her hands shaking. She reads the note. "You deserve more than I can pay you. This is an advance for next month. No need to pay it back. MH. She reads it again, and again. "No, no, no, no," she whispers. "This can't be real." She looks around, like Michael might suddenly appear, but the house is silent. Emily puts the money back in the envelope, closes it, sets it on the table, and then she sees the flower vase. She looks closer. They're not real flowers. They're silk. Perfect. Untouched. She frowns. Why would someone put fake flowers in their own house? She looks around again, looks at the cabinets, the fridge, the ceiling, and then she sees it. A tiny black dot in the upper corner of the wall, almost invisible. But she's worked in hotels before. She knows what it is. A camera. Emily freezes. She stares at the camera, doesn't move, doesn't breathe. She feels her blood boil, feels humiliation rising in her chest. He was watching me. She picks Noah up in her arms, still asleep, grabs the envelope and leaves. He sees Emily discover the camera, sees her expression shift from confusion to anger to betrayal. He sees her walk out, and he knows he just lost the only good thing that's come into his life in months. Emily gets home and lays Noah in bed. She sits on the couch, holding the envelope. She should be happy. $1,000 would solve half her problems, but all she feels is disgust. She picks up her phone. She doesn't have Michael's number, but she knows where he lives, and she's going back, not to work, to confront him. It's Sunday afternoon. Emily parks in front of the mansion. She left Noah with Mrs. Jensen, back from her trip, thank God. She didn't want him seeing this. She bangs on the front door, hard, angry. Michael opens almost right away. He was waiting for this. They stare at each other. The silence is tense, heavy. "You were spying on me?" Emily asks, her voice shaking. Michael doesn't look away. Yes, his honesty throws her off for a second. She expected denial, stupid excuses, but he admitted it. "Since when?" "Since the first day." Emily lets out a laugh, but it's bitter, humorless. You? You watched me working, watched me crying, watched me living, and I didn't know. She squeezes the envelope in her hand. "You watched me like a reality show? Like some experiment?" "No." Michael takes a deep breath. "It wasn't like that." "Then what was it?" Emily yells. "Because from where I'm standing, it sure looks like you were having fun watching the poor girl struggle to survive." "I wasn't having fun. Michael's voice comes out rough, broken. I was trying to understand. Understand what? How you do it. Michael looks at her, eyes red. How you wake up every day and keep going. How you work 3 shifts and still go home and smile at your kid. How you keep it together when everything feels impossible. Emily goes quiet. She wasn't expecting that. I installed the cameras after a break-in, Michael goes on. But after that, I used them because I didn't know how to talk to people anymore. How to be around someone without feeling pain. And you thought spying on me would fix that? No, I thought... He hesitates. I thought if I watched someone actually living, maybe I'd remember how to live too. Emily shakes her head. You don't get to use my life to make yourself feel better. I know. Michael lowers his head. I know, and I took all the cameras down. Last night. All of them. I promise. Why should I believe you? Because... Michael takes out his phone. He shows her the screen. It's the camera app. All offline. I uninstalled everything. I deleted the recordings. I know that doesn't fix anything, but... You're right, it doesn't. Silence. Emily throws the envelope onto the table by the door. I don't want your money. Emily, please. I don't want to be your charity case. I don't want to be your inspiration. I want to be treated like a person. She swallows her tears. I've spent my whole life being invisible, being ignored, being just another waitress, just another single mom, just another nobody that no one sees. And you, she points at him, you saw me, but in the wrong way. Michael has no words. Emily turns to leave. Wait, Michael says. She stops, but doesn't turn around. I don't deserve your forgiveness, Michael goes on. I know that, but I wanted you to know that you're not invisible. Not to me, not anymore. Emily closes her eyes, takes a deep breath. I need to think. I understand. She leaves. Michael stands in the doorway, watching her car disappear down the road, and for the first time in a year and a half, he feels human again, even if it's through shame. Emily gets home and collapses on the couch. Noah runs to her. Mom, are you crying? No, baby. I'm just tired. Noah hugs her. Emily closes her eyes. She thinks about Michael's face, about his raw honesty, about the pain she recognized, because it's the same pain she carries. She doesn't know if she can forgive him, but maybe she understands. 3 days go by. Michael doesn't sleep. He stays in the empty office, staring at the walls. The cameras are gone, the recordings erased, but the guilt is still there. He thinks about calling Emily, apologizing again. But he knows it wouldn't change anything. Some things don't get fixed, they just get accepted. On Wednesday afternoon, the doorbell rings. Michael runs downstairs, opens the door, and freezes. Emily is there, with Noah beside her, holding his mom's hand. She's holding the envelope, the same one he gave her, still sealed. Hi, Emily says, her voice steady. Hey, Michael replies, awkward. Noah looks at him with big, curious eyes. Are you the owner of the castle? Michael smiles for the first time in days. I am. And you must be Noah. How do you know my name? Your mom told me, and I saw the drawing you made. It's on my fridge. Noah beams, proud. Mom, he kept my drawing. Emily looks at Michael. Something in her eyes has changed. It's not forgiveness. Not yet. But it's openness. I came to return this, she says, holding out the envelope. Michael doesn't take it. I don't want it back. I know. But I can't take it. Emily takes a deep breath. I don't want to be seen as someone who needs saving. I don't need pity. I need a fair shot. Michael nods slowly. What do you mean? I want to keep working here, but with dignity, with respect, and with the certainty that you're not looking at me like some project. You're seeing me as a person. I do see you, Michael says honestly. I always did. I just didn't know how to show it. Emily is quiet for a moment. Then she holds out her hand. Then let's start over. The right way. Michael looks at her hand. He takes it. The right way, he repeats. Noah tugs on Michael's shirt. Sir? Yeah, Noah. Are you sad? Michael blinks, caught off guard. Why do you think that? Because your house is really big and really empty. And you don't have drawings on your fridge. Just mine. Michael laughs, but his eyes fill with tears. Yeah, I guess I am a little sad. My mom is too sometimes. But then I hug her, and she gets better. Noah opens his arms. Michael looks at Emily, who nods with a small smile. Michael kneels down and hugs the boy, and for the first time in a year and a half, he feels warm. Emily still works at the mansion, but now it's different. Michael is around. They talk. They drink coffee together. He asks about Noah. She asks about Claire. They don't talk about the cameras. They don't need to, because they both learned something. Michael learned that watching life is not the same as living it, and Emily learned that being seen isn't always a bad thing, as long as it's through the right eyes. It's Saturday morning. Emily gets to the mansion and finds Michael in the kitchen, making pancakes. "You cook?" she asks, surprised. "Not really, but I'm trying." He shows her the pan. The pancakes are burned. "Claire always said I was terrible at this." Emily laughs. "She was right. Want to teach me?" Emily grabs the spatula. "Only if you promise you're not going to watch me through a camera afterward." Michael laughs. It's a real laugh, Light. "I promise." Noah runs in, holding a new drawing. Look! Look! I drew you two making pancakes." Michael takes the drawing. In it, there are 3 people: Emily, Noah, and a man smiling. He puts the drawing on the fridge, right next to the first one. Emily looks at him. Michael looks at her. They don't say a word, but they both know. Sometimes life offers you a second chance, and sometimes you take it. Sometimes watching someone teaches you about courage, but it's when you step closer, when you let yourself be seen too, that you truly change. Because life doesn't happen behind a screen. It happens here, between real people, with real pain and real love.